here with Dave here.
I mean, there's a lot of differences in just like style of play, I guess, from the East Coast to the West Coast. They're two very different places, so it's kind of hard to compare, I guess. But I mean, coaching styles are a little bit different. We play more of a game that's really focused on passing and defense and small things, which is fun and always a good way to play the game. And one's hot and one gets cold.
What about here? Does it feel any different? Is the atmosphere that surrounded Penn State heading into an NCAA sub-regional, does it feel different than what you're experiencing now?
I mean, pretty similar. We have such a big fan base in Hawaii that we know that everyone's following us and stuff like that. Unfortunately, we aren't home, so they don't get to show it as much, but you know that they're all still watching, and NCAA time is a fun time for them as well as it was back at Penn State.
You, like Penn State, almost without fail, it plays a couple teams the first two rounds that no one's ever heard of. Is it different to be playing Santa Clara and possibly Washington? Is that a big difference?
I mean, yeah. We're playing a little bit better teams. The teams that they get normally are right from around there and not super heard of, but you know, it's always you got to play well in the first and second round. So same kind of thing.
Was it play well at Penn State, or was it just get better and so you're ready for the regional?
I think it's the same. I mean, it's the same thing. Playing Santa Clara the first round, we're gonna have to play well so we can get on kind of a roll and get into a rhythm, and that way we'll play well against whoever else comes up.
What about did you look at a lot of video first two rounds at Penn State?
Yep, always the same. Always, you know, trying to stay in routine, and we got to look at video to know who you're playing and to know what you're going to do.
What's your biggest worry about Santa Clara, Dave?
My worry? Well, their middles lead their team in attacking, so that's a little bit different from most teams. Most teams are led by their outsides, so you know they've got some size in there, and that concerns us. That, you know, we're not used to having to defend against offensive middles.
Does that by definition mean that their passing is good?
Their passing must be good to get the middles to be involved so much.
What is besides being 6'4", what does Anders do that makes her so effective?
She moves the ball around a lot. She'll hit to the open spot. The tempo is a little slower than most middles, so the timing is a little different for us. It's hard to work on because we don't run it like that, but we try to simulate it in practice, so that'll be the biggest obstacle, is the timing of their middle attack.
When you look at the tape of this Santa Clara, does it look anything like a Big West team?
Well, we're going to watch some more film tonight.
We haven't done
any film.
Coaches have done all the film work so far on Santa Clara.
We're watching
so
tonight.
We're watching.
So what do you look for?
What do we look for when we're watching film?
Yeah. Do they tell you what you're looking for, or are you looking for specific things?
I mean, Scott and Dave run in, give us go through players and stuff like that. I always like to watch, obviously where the attackers are hitting and where what their patterns are and stuff like that. But that's all stuff we go through as a team. So I think that during video we'll just pay attention to their tendencies and hopefully areas that we can be solid in to create a problem on their side.
Can you prepare yourself by watching that for timing? Is that something you just have to experience?
I think it's both. We practice it a little bit when we're practicing and stuff, but also we'll be able to watch it and kind of. I know the middles probably will be the ones that watch most of that because that's an important part for them. So it's just, I mean, you can do it both ways.
Just because it's John's team, and, I mean they've been gone from this tournament for a few years, but is it still going to look like a John Wallace team? Are there tendencies that you're going to expect?
I think that, you know, they're going to be well coached. We know that. I think John's one of those coaches that adapts the game to his players. So I don't think there'll be, you know, it's not a style where you have to get used to. You know, his players are different now, so they'll be a little different than they have been in the past. His system is way different from what the last time he was in the Final Four, for sure.
Is that all outside?
Well, they sub for their middles with their setters, so that's something that isn't seen a lot. So their configuration and their alignment is way different from what most teams do.
Is that a big concern when you have first-year middle?
They just have to pick up where the hitters are coming from. They're coming from different areas than we're used to seeing, but you know, we've still got a day and a half here to prepare, and we'll work on it a little bit today. But it's a pretty different system, and I guess John came up with it just to take advantage of his skills of his players.
The other, the one, the girl that's second on the team in kills, is she right side?
I'm not sure whether it's the second one is either second middle or the, because they play two opposites, and they've got 6 hitters, so they're all contributing. So I don't think we can concentrate on one person.
So who are your starters? I want you to say this in front of Alex, so she can tell everybody.
That'll be determined after today's practice.
We
Well, we're still you know, we're trying to find the right fit on the right, the starter that's opposite, and you know, we're like auditioning people over there, you know, so to speak. You know, I like you know, Ashley Castle. She can give us some offense over there, so we're looking at her again. And you know, Ty's played well, and Kayla's real steady, so it kind of depends on how we want, what we want out of that position to start this first match, whether we want steadiness or a little more pop or a little better block. I mean, there's, all three are way different, so you know, we're going to try a couple ways today. I mean, it could be Hartong over there too. It's not out of the question. Because, you know, if we have Hartong over there, we get way more offense out of the position. And that's something that we thought about all year, and we played her over there a few times.
can get her the ball in.
Well, that's the key, whether we can get her the ball. You know, a lot's going to depend on the matchup, where we think we have an advantage against Santa Clara. If we think we have it on our left, then Hartong will play over there. If they have a weaker blocker on their left and our right, then we could put Hartong over there.
And that could change Saturday if you want.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's all game to game, and well, match to match and game to game. So I think, and everybody's played over there, and everybody's played the alignments, and so there's nothing that's going to be overwhelming to our team. Like, oh, what are we doing now? It's pretty. We practice this way all year.
It's not hard to get used to this.
I mean, I think that we have girls on the team that everyone has, like you said, we have a lot of people that can fill the spot, and so it's kind of nice to know that we have confidence in everyone, and I don't think it's hard to get used to. I think like you said, we've been doing it all season, so it's nothing new to us.
What about just them being in different places, particularly defensively? Like, you know, having balls drop this late in the season, you know, that could easily happen.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think that as long as whoever's in there and the team around them is communicating, I think we'll be fine.
Have you ever had this happen this late in the season?
I don't think so. I don't think we've. I think in the Kanani years, we probably started the same lineup for the whole season. We never changed. We changed the way we started, but not the positions. And, you know, some years it's like that where you've got 5 hitters, and that's what you go with. And the other years, you've got more depth and players are closer to each other in ability. So that's the case this year.
I was talking about that.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.